Good morning, good afternoon. If you're at this point in the web quest, we are converting to standard form. Just a quick little review. If you have different types or different information, you can write different types of equations, whether it's point-slope form or slope-intercept we've talked about so far, with the m being the slope and then the b here being the y-intercept. And if you have point slope, you can, or if you have a point and the slope, you can write an equation in point slope form. Remember, given a point and the slope, you can't just input it into standard form. You have to convert it. So converting, start here. Again, standard form is ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are just numbers. They're going to be replaced with numbers, so something like 2x plus 4y equals 6. The first thing you're going to want to do is, if there's parentheses, you want to distribute. Second, because you want the x term to be positive, you're going to, if it's positive and on the right side, all you're going to do is flip the equation. Second step is going to be to move the variable terms to the left side and any constants to the right side of the equal sign. Remember, constants are just going to be any numbers. The variable terms are going to be anything with your x, anything connected to your x, and your y. So all those get over here. So here, all my variable terms are over here, and then my constant or my c is by itself over on the right side. And then the last step is, if any fractions or decimals, you want to multiply to write it in standard form, because a, b, and c are integers. They are not decimals or fractions, so you're going to either multiply by the common denominator or the smallest place value to get rid of those. So looking here, the first thing here I see is I have my x term is on the right side. That's where, because I want it to be positive, I'm just going to flip it. So I just bring the 4x to this side and the y to this side. Next, if there's parentheses, you distribute. There's no parentheses. Next, I want to get all of my variable terms to the left side. So if I have y on the right side, I need to subtract it to get rid of it, because anything subtracted or minus itself will just be 0. And then I have to do it to both sides, so then I have 4x minus y. This has only whole number coefficients. I have 4x minus 1y equals 0. Remember, if there's nothing here, my b or my would be 1 here. Okay, my next one is a little more complicated. So I'm going to move it up. No. Okay, first thing I want to do is just flip it. So I'm going to write 1/2 x minus 3 on this side and then y on this side. Again, I want to get my variable terms to the left side, so I'm going to subtract this y away to get it to become 0. Here I have 1/2 x, and then I'm just going to write minus y, and then that 3 still has to come down. That minus 3 has to stay there. So I'm just going to rewrite this way first, so that keeping the x and the y, or the variable terms, together. Then I have a subtract 3, so I need to add 3. That would be me moving the constants to the right side of the equal sign. So add 3 to both sides. Let me see if I can. No, I'll just mess it up more. So I add 3, so then I get 1/2 x minus 1y equals 3. Then I need to multiply everything by the common denominator, and I only have one denominator, and that's 2. So I'm going to multiply everything by 2. The 3 has to be multiplied by 2 to become 6. 1 times 2 is 2, and 1/2 times 2 is 1. I don't have a coefficient. I could write 1 if I wanted to. It doesn't matter. Okay, this one, the first thing you have to do if you have parentheses, is distribute. So I have to distribute the 2 times the x becomes 2x, 2 times the 9 becomes 18. You have to remember to distribute or multiply that 2 to both of these in here. So 2x plus 18. Again, my 2x is positive, so I'm just going to flip them. So it becomes 2x plus 18 equals whatever's on this side, which is y minus 6. It has to stay the exact same. 2x plus 18, 2x plus 18. X minus 6, y minus 6, y minus 6. Okay, next one would be, next step, move variable terms to the left side. So here I have a y, I have to subtract it away from both sides. So that now it's only on this side, so I moved it to my left side. Then I want to get my constants to the right. So I have a plus 18 here. Plus 18. I need to get rid of that by subtracting 18. And that's what I'm doing when I'm moving it to the right side. Okay, highlight it more. I have a negative 6. I can't forget that this negative 6 is left here. It's minus right here. Remember, this is a minus 6 or a negative 6. So negative 6 minus 18, negative 24. This 2x minus y stays on the left side. I don't have any fractions. My coefficients on x and y are both whole numbers, and my 2 is positive. So I'm done. It is in standard form.